In Bombay, a comedy club, as you may have heard, was destroyed recently. A comedian by the name of Kunal Kamra made shot a special there. Some comments were made, people got offended, and so they went to the comedy club and trashed the place when people were sitting inside. And I think for some reason they did not believe or did not realize that comedy specials are shot a few months prior, then edited, sound mixing, and it's released only later. It's not like it's happening in real time that you can go and say, "Arey, Kunal Kamra kidhar hai?" And then they said, "No, he's actually in Pondicherry." So then they were like, "But how will we reach Pondicherry?" Also, I was surrounded by a lot of people who did not believe I was from the South. They said, "Arey, you can't be South Indian. You're not black. You don't have buck teeth."
So this was supposed to be, if you remember in the original agenda, if you've seen the newspaper, it says it's a stand-up act by Anuradha Menon. But then we changed it slightly and we said we will do in conversation and get to know Anuradha Menon better. And the curator of the event, Narayan Lakshman, was left to find out who she will be in conversation with. Now we know that she is India's pioneer in stand-up and comedy. So he wanted to know, he had to have an equally funny guy on the other side. And the only funny guy in the system, apparently, was me. So he then reached out and he said, why don't you do this? So I said, well, it should be good fun. And plus, Anuradha and I have done this before with a panel of comedians. The only thing was Kannan Gill, when we did last time, almost fell and broke his head on the chair, literally. Yeah, I'm sure all of you all remember that from the LFL.
Are you going to constantly call me Anuradha through this? I always feel like my teachers only used to call me Anuradha. No, he's always like, "No, miss, I didn't do it." It's like that sort of feel.
Okay, so no Anuradha, let's go to Lola Kutty, right? I think that sounds better. So firstly, tell us, how did Lola Kutty come to life? What inspired the character, the look, the glasses, the flowers, the Mallu sari, and did you, when you started first few episodes, did you think she would become such a big cult icon?
This Suresh is like one smiling assassin. So many questions. Yeah. So I was born and brought up in Chennai, and I went to a good convent school and then to a good convent college, all girls. And I did my master's in drama in London. And then I came back, and the idea was I will move to Bombay. I'll get a job that will support my theatre habit because the stage was my first love. And I went to Channel V and I met the bosses. And they said, "Oh, she's very funny, she's smart. Come hang with us." I said, "Cool, I'll hang, but I have to think of something to do." Right. VJs on Channel V were considered cool people. And I wasn't cut out to be cool. Okay? So I wasn't cut out to say, "Yo, check it out, coming up next." So I thought it would be more fun to play a character on this very hipster music channel, someone you wouldn't expect to see. Also, I was surrounded by a lot of people who did not believe I was from the South. They said, "Arey, you can't be South Indian. You're not black. You don't have buck teeth." And the thing is, growing up in Chennai, I was a very quiet, shy child. And in the South, they call my people Pavam, right? And anyone who was loud and confident, we called North Indian. You're only laughing because it's true. So I thought it would be fun to play this character, so I came up with the idea. And also, there was a movie called Run, Lola, Run. And you think of Lola, you expect someone who's like sexy and confident and, running on the beach in like, or some Bo Derek emerging from the seas. So, and then you get to see me. But my boss said at the time that you needed to look funny in order to be funny. Because also I started in 2004. So, yeah, that's how it started. But they were also very worried because they were like, our share prices will crash, right? Because on one hand, we have a VJ in a bikini, and now we have you. So luckily, it was a risk that paid off, and here we are.
The Mallu accent, was it already there? Did you cultivate it, or it just...
I generally like accents. My mother still says that Lola rocks, but Anu sucks. But now it is what it is. She said, now because of you, everyone thinks I have that accent, and I don't, because my mother speaks the Queen's English. But also, if you want to play a character, you can't look like this and sound like this, right? So you have to look a certain way. If I'm trying to say that she's a conservative girl from the interior, from Calicut or whatever, stuck in a time warp, Like a lot of people I interviewed, like Prahlad Kakkar was like, Bichari, just take her out, show her the sights. You know, she's stuck living in Matunga with her uncle and aunt in Bombay. You know, show her Bombay a little, happen her up a bit. But yeah, that was the... And sometimes when I went to Channel V parties, I wasn't even allowed inside. Because they were like, "Arey, you're madam, ये party चल रही है अंदर. आप क्या कर रही है यहाँ पे?"
The Hindu Huddle is the best ever event you have attended. Can you say that with Lola Kutty's accent?
The Hindu Huddle is the best ever event I have ever attended. Ever. Have I said ever? Enough.
Thanks so much. So tell me, pulling back a little, you were one of the pioneers. You are one of the pioneers of
Yeah, age
stand-up.
me a little more, Suresh. My
No,
God,
no,
you
no,
hit
no,
40
you're young,
and that's
you're young.
it.
No,
It's a
you're
downward
young.
spiral.
No, very young, very good looking, and you are one of the pioneers of stand-up. Where do you think this art is going in our country? I know I've come from Mumbai, open mics, etc. There's been so many more people that have come up here. Maybe not so much in Chennai. Definitely in Bangalore, it's thriving. So where do you think this is headed?
Well, it's actually a worrisome time because in Bombay, a comedy club, as you may have heard, was destroyed recently because a comedian by the name of Kunal Kamra shot a special there. Some comments were made, people got offended, and so they went to the comedy club and trashed the place when people were sitting inside. And I think for some reason they did not believe or did not realize that comedy specials are shot a few months prior, then edited, sound mixing, and it's released only later. It's not like it's happening in real time that you can go and say, "Arey, Kunal Kamra kidhar hai?" And then they said, "No, he's actually in Pondicherry." So then they were like, "But how will we reach Pondicherry?" So it's difficult because people obviously are easily offended. You never know what offends people. I have never been a political comedian, so that has gone in my favor. I talk about just everyday things. And my family is my target mainly. But even then, I will still get, "Arey, you're a mother and you're making fun of your son." I was like, listen, if I have to pay for my son's material needs in this material world, I can use him as material. Seems fair. See, there are only parents clapping, as you can see.
Correct,
Like, yeah,
absolutely.
we know the pain, very expensive schooling is.
So, being a woman in the stand-up ecosystem, which is largely dominated by men, what have been some of the challenges and what have been some of the advantages of...
The advantage used to be that on women, like one Women's Day, I made enough money to go on a holiday to Paris to watch my favorite tennis player, Rafael Nadal, play at Roland Garros. And then after that, it's been a downward spiral because people are too scared to touch comedy sometimes, you know. So whenever you do a corporate show, there'll always be one long list. Listen, Anu, we are very cool in our company. You can joke about anything except sex, drugs, politicians, religion, Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, politics, books, poets, OTT platforms, news channels. Apart from that, we are cool. It's like, so look, there are a lot of things as a woman that you can't get away with perhaps, and people say there are very few female comedians, but I think that's true of most professions the world over. The biggest chefs in the world are men, but their wives cook at home. There are more male lawyers or more male entrepreneurs, so that's not really, it's not just a comedic specific thing, it's it's all over the world like that. Like, for example, if there's a corporate show, the head of HR or the boss will tell the male comedian, "Come have a drink with us after." They're never going to tell the female comedian that. Sometimes when you do corporate shows, they believe the female comedian, it's like a jokes mujra, you know? They don't quite comprehend. So, yeah, there are sort of those issues. But look, at the end of the day, people say, "Oh, there are, women swear on stage," or, "Do you don't swear as much." So a lot of people, they associate stand-up comedy with a lot of swearing. And my thing is, you do you. Be comfortable. If you're comfortable swearing, you swear, and that's fine. I personally am not. Like, I swear in real life when I see, like, my son's mathematics marks or something, or my husband is snoring and not letting me sleep, stuff like that. But on stage, I'm not a swearer.
Good. That would have been my follow-up question about profanity in stand-up, right? I mean, profanity, if you're not profane in stand-up, you're not funny. It's almost like that. Whereas people like you, for example, I mean, there is no profanity in your...
I don't think there's extra virtue in the fact that I'm not swearing. I just think it's something I cannot do. If you can do it, fine, you know, that's completely okay. So I don't think, oh wow, I'm like better because I'm not, you know, using bad language. It's just because I'm incapable of it.
So let me ask you about Lola Kutty. Is she a boon or a bane? Did you feel after a point in time, she was a success, of course, a sensation, cult icon, but over the years, that was some time back. After that, has it boxed you in?
Yeah, this being a Lola Kutty has really come in the way of my item number career. I, all I want is one curly head shampoo commercial. Since when I've been begging my management. I was like, I have good quality curls, come on. No, I was thinking from Kerala, at least some coconut oil brand, nothing, zero, zilch. Of course you're boxed in, but I think that the problem also is that then they see me in real life and it's almost a disappointment. You know, because they expect me to look like that or sound like that. And they're like, oh. Or they only want to put me up for South Indian roles. And then they feel I don't look South Indian. So I seem to, you know, once I auditioned, I swear, for there is a show on Amazon Prime. And the part was a Malayali woman from Chennai who has an 8-year-old son. And I was like, my God, that's me. I got this. I didn't get the part. That means I was so terrible at just being me at the audition. You know what I'm saying? It really hurt my self-confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, so talking about 8-year-old son, husband, you talk about them and you have no problems talking about family. And so how do you balance this family life and being, you know, funny on stage? How do you mix both of them?
See, my thing is the ratio has to be 1:1. For every mother joke, there has to be one mother-in-law joke and vice versa. Right. So then both are happy. Like it's not just me, it's, you know, someone else as well. So I think that's, I'm an equal opportunity offender. Like everyone I make fun of, including myself. So I think that's the best way to go. But no, my in-laws are actually very, very cool. Like they'd have no issue. My mother-in-law actually gets offended if I'm not making enough jokes about her. She said, you know, my friend in America called, she said, Anu these days doesn't talk about you at all. Why you're not talking? I was like, why don't you do something and inspire me, ma? Also, you know, when you like wear a piece, like one, I will wear the earrings my mother gave me and a ring my mother-in-law gave me. See, again, both parties should be kept happy.
Yeah, smart. So this smartness came because you're a Chennai girl, I presume, right? And born and brought up in Chennai. Then you moved to Mumbai for professional reasons. Now we are sitting talking in Bangalore, right? But Bangalore believes that Chennai is very blah. Yeah. Right? So do you subscribe to that point of view now that you're a Mumbaiite?
May I just ask the audience, this is a genuine question I want to ask. Are you sure that Bangalore airport is actually in Bangalore? Because I think you've been lied to. In fact, I told the Hindu group, just fly me to Hyderabad, I will walk from there. And that's how I reached here in time. I just want to tell you. But yeah, growing up in Chennai, there's always that competition, right? Which city is better? Bangalore. And Bangalore is always superior. Better weather, the boys were better looking, better restaurants, more pubs. The only thing Chennai had going for it was, hey, shut up, okay, we have beach. And Rajnikant. Ha ha. So we've had to deal with that all our lives. And then finally we had the superior IPL team. And I got a message on Instagram from someone who said, Anu, now that I know you're a CSK supporter, I'm going to unfollow you and I will never come for a show of yours. I was like, Adi Pavi, like so, I didn't think you would get so serious about it. But yeah.
Want to talk about CSK this year?
CSK this year. Okay. No, I mean, listen, it's a team in transition now. Okay.
Sure.
So now we're in Bangalore, we all had to say, no, ye sala cup namde. Otherwise, always used to come to Bangalore and say, let's do the Bangalore national anthem. Chennai Super Kings, periya whistle, adinga. Stony silence. No, the RCB was looking really good, actually, this season. But
they were looking so good, they've called off the IPL.
Yeah. For a week, they said, for a week. I saw the team buses outside. Don't say anything.
Hypothetically,
yes.
if I know that you dabbled in movies as well. So when Karan Johar offered you the movie as the lead opposite Shah Rukh, why didn't you accept it?
Would I accept it? First of all, if I was offered a movie with Shah Rukh Khan, I would have to play Shah Rukh Khan's mother. Because that's how it works, right? I at 43 will have a, how old will Shah Rukh be? 60-year-old son, yeah? So, yeah, I would love to do it, just to be with Shah Rukh and go. Yeah, that I would love to do. No. Are you a cricket fan?
Yes.
Okay. How many of you here have filled in a UK visa? All of you are cricket fans here? Yeah, I'll tell you a cricket story quickly before. Okay. So, how many of the gentlemen in the audience, how many of you cried when we lost the 2023 World Cup to Australia? See, I knew it. See, there's only two things in this country that make a grown man cry. One is cricket, and the other when their souffle does not rise on MasterChef. Okay. So, in my family, the women are far more into cricket than the men, okay, because ulti dunya chalti hai. So forget 2023, during the 2019 World Cup, which was in England, my mother called and said, I'm getting tickets, you, me and Ayan, 3 generations, let's go. Once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime. I was like, fabulous, right? Let me just call my bank balance and check, because it's an expensive trip, no? At that time, 89 rupees to the pound plus 3% when I use my credit card. So I called my bank balance. Bank balance ne kaha, Anu, you have enough money to go to England or for son's school fees. I chose England because travel is education. You know? Has anyone over here filled in a UK visa application? Of course not. You all are so fancy. You have people who have people, right? But for ordinary folk like me, when I started filling in the application, I had a son who was 7. When I finished filling in the application, I had a grandson who was 7. And the kind of questions they ask. Who is funding your trip? I am funding my trip. Who is funding your son's trip? I am funding my son's trip. Why is your son not funding his own trip? Because he's 7. Why does your son have no access to funds? Because he's 7. Why does your son expect you to fund his trip? Because he's entitled. Also, he's 7. And then I got really confused. Am I raising my son wrong? Is he supposed to be a business tycoon at age 7? Should I have named him Ayan Adani? Once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime. I finished filling up this thesis and I went to the VFS office, okay? Lady there says, ma'am, बहुत cut to cut hai, tatkal mein karana padega. I was like, why will I not get the visa in time? She said, wo kya hai na ma'am, ki you are a single woman going with your son to the UK. What if you just disappear in the UK? I said, why will I disappear in the UK? Have you tasted British food? I said, once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime. Okay, I said, how much for Tatkal? 25,000 rupees each? I said, is Britain trying to make up for Brexit, one visa at a time? Anyway, filled in the application and then got the visa. There we are, India versus England, Edgbaston, Birmingham. The players are within touching distance. My son is reading a book. I was like, Ayan, 89 rupees to the pound, 3% when I use my credit card, Tatkal. He's like, Mama, I much prefer it on TV. TV? He's like, Mama, this stadium is too crowded. Crowded? I was like, Ayan, there are only 15,000 people in the stadium. There are more people in our Bombay Building Society meeting as we speak. You'll have all been to Bombay. You know, na? Every time you've taken a breath, you've snorted to people. Hai na? Like Mr. and Mrs. Usgaonkar, niche beti, sab theek tak, chai vai, do you want something? And the thing is, when you go to, I was expecting to walk down the streets of England and have people say, oh, Anu, top of the morning to you, fantastic, you brought the Indian sunshine. Would you like a cup of tea? Milk, no sugar, Harry and Meghan, do guna lagan. Instead, all I heard on the streets of England were, आथे देख, आथे नहीं, की आल है, चंगा है, तुनक 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 ना ना ना, दर्दी रब रब कर दी, ओ मैं दर्दी रब. It's like, I have paid 89 rupees to the pound, plus 3% when I use my credit card. For this sort of money, I deserve to see some white people, huh? Not just beautiful, fair Punjabis in bleach blonde hair. Chup, mummy, auntie. It came from personal pain, personal pain.
She has filled in a British visa form, for sure, right? That came from the heart. You made a reference to North and South divide. I don't think it didn't miss me at all, you know, and you sort of thought you'll get away with it.
No,
right?
no, never.
Loud somebody is a Punjabi, something like that you said, right? So what is this north-south divide you're trying to, create
Not.
here?
How many South Indians are there in the audience? Just raise your hands. Okay, just stay with me on this theory. As a fellow South Indian, I just feel that we are not very cool people. But what we lack in swag, we make up for with educational qualifications. Yeah. South Indian people have degrees, normal people have self-esteem. Like the minimum degree for me to exist in my family is a master's. But I studied drama. But I'm South Indian. So I did a master's in drama. My aunt studied library sciences. But she is South Indian. So she did a master's in library sciences, which means she's now overqualified to teach in any Indian school library. Okay, but she's Malayali. So foreign school library means UAE school library, not US school library, right? All these things you can read about in the library, right? Because the Kerala Atlas stops at Lulu supermarket in Qatar. Like, things are so bad in the South. I was once willing to marry a boy I had never met just based on his educational qualifications. Suresh, listen to me. Siddharth had a bachelor's from Harvard, a master's from Princeton, and a PhD from Cambridge. I was like, I love this Siddharth. My mother was like, you don't even know Siddharth. What if he's a serial killer? I was like, Mama, please. At least he'll be an educated serial killer. It's like Dexter with a doctorate. That's like when I was, are there any single people in the audience? Any single people? Ma'am, like, I just feel like as women, like, we all go through an eligibility phase in life. Everyone wants to set us up with someone. So in my case, back in the day, they were like, Anu, you're Malayali, why don't you marry a Malayali celebrity? I was like, I would love to. But at that time, there were only 2 Malayali celebrities.
Yep.
One was the cricketer, Shantakumaran Srishant, and the other was Shashi Tharoor. Now, I can't marry Srishant because have you seen the size of his nostrils? Like Harbhajan Singh fits in there after slapping him. Like, if I married Srishant, between the size of his nostrils and mine, my future child would have no breathing problems, right? And I can't marry Shashi Tharoor, obviously, because I don't have a dictionary. But yeah, my son's pediatrician's name is also Dr. Shashi, by the way. So I went to her when my son was unwell, and I was like, oh, Dr. Shashi, why has Ayan got this fever? She said, what to say, Ma? This virus is just ubiquitous. I said, सारे Shashis के एक ही problem है क्या? Anyone knows the meaning of ubiquitous here? Who said what? Yes, of course, front bencher only will know.
Absolutely.
Yes. Mr. Narayan, yes, sir. What does it mean? Oh, you want me to? So you were just pointing back at me, is it? It means everywhere. The virus is everywhere. See? You came for jokes, you leave with GK. You're welcome.
Fantastic, Anu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a lovely time talking to you. You've really, we have captured climate change. We have captured liberal education. We have captured Trump, right? Not captured Trump, sorry. That can be misinterpreted. We've captured the essence of his, of what he's doing. We have spoken about non-communicable diseases. We have spoken about everything that is important in the huddle. It's been such a deep, meaningful conversation with you. It's been so full of substance, right? It's been just amazing. The value that you bring to this conference is just outstanding, Anu, I must say.
That's why I'm at the end, from the sublime to the ridiculous, finally. Every big corporation has one loss-making enterprise, for tax exemption. That was me, this session.
No, absolutely fantastic. Anu, it was pleasure talking to you. We've done this before. And I hope we get opportunities to chat like this more often.
Thank you,
And
Suresh.
best of luck for the rest of your career. I'm sure you'll keep doing fabulously well.
No, comedians need luck today, I assure you.
Yes. You have plenty of it. And I'm sure you'll do exceptionally well as we go forward. Your wit is fantastic. You had Mr. Narayan splits for most of the time.
No, but he is like, our families know each other. Yeah. He feels pressure to laugh. He knows my grandfather and all. So he's like, yo, Paum, I laugh. Just encourage this substandard nonsense a bit. But no, just in general, I hope none of you take offense to jokes. Because it's very hard for me to maintain a skincare routine from prison. So, thank you.
Thank you.